Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Don't Trip Sis. I'm your co-host, Ashley Dominique. I'm a handful, but I'm sweet, and I'm here with my sis.
Hey y'all, it's Ashley Berger, and I always have something to say, and I'm so ready to get into this episode. Girl, you ready? Are you ready?
I am ready. Yes, I'm
do
as
it.
ready as the millennials we are discussing today.
Girl, let's get into it. Ash, start us off, sis.
Let's get into it.
What we talking about today?
All right, y'all. Today we are talking about millennials. To me, the greatest generation to ever do it.
Period.
And nomad traveling, millennial international travel, just traveling, period, as millennials. We do it different, better. Hey, we might not have been the inventors of it, but we got it looking bigger and better than it's ever been done.
Facts on that. And I feel like with us as millennials, and I'm a proud millennial, 87 baby all day. I love it. And I feel like with us millennials, we have taken the traditional working from home, which has been other generations. So, we honor that. And we're taking the working from home and changing it to the whole world is our home office. Every city or state or country is our home office. And I think that's so dope. I admire the millennials, the generation that is just going out there and traveling and seeing new things and on the beach in Turks and Caicos doing a work call. And then after that, they're having mimosas and they're jumping in the ocean. I think that's a vibe. And as a woman myself who has been to 12 countries and plan on going to many more, I love the thought of traveling and seeing the world. So this generation, us millennials mixed in with Gen X, and then some of the new Gen Zs that are coming along and doing it, I think it's a vibe. I really think it's so cool and encouraging to see how traveling can be shaped into a career. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely. A lot of millennials these days have perfected the combination of work and leisure. They're able to travel and work while they're traveling. And they're doing this. A lot of them are without kids, but even with kids, they're figuring it out. They're getting it done. We're that generation of hey, give us about 5 minutes. We got an entire plan, an itinerary. We gonna have it mapped out, bags packed, flights booked. We're already gone by the time you reach out saying, so, hey, what you doing? We didn't touch about 4 or 5 different places. We're like, oh, I'm on the 5th flight. You can catch a plane and meet me at the next stop, but I'm gonna keep it moving. And it's exploring the world. We definitely want to live that you only live once mentality, see the world that's out there and just enjoy it. We work hard, has as the generations before us have as well. The generations after us are definitely catching on to that trend. But also, millennials are really stamping their name and certifying that nomad life as well. Just getting these like little random RV vans. I've been seeing a lot of like YouTube videos, TikToks, Instagram videos, even some Facebook videos of them like just buying like old ice cream trucks, I would call them, and tearing them out, redoing them, and they're just traveling the world. Anything they can do, they're just out there doing it. And I love that. I love that for us. I love that mentality. I love that this generation is showing the generations after us. Look, this is what you can strive for. This is what you can do. Like, just do it. Book that flight, that car, get in that Uber, Lyft, taxi, get on that cruise, get on that boat, catch a train, whatever it is. Just go see the world. Why not? Even if you see the next state over, go look at something new. Switch your scenery up. And I definitely love that. For traveling, I plan on traveling a lot more in the future. Even with my son, I want to take him, whether he remember or not right now. He's currently free. So why not? His tickets are free.
Right.
I might even be one of those parents who's going to sugarcoat it, who's claiming he's still 2 at like 4. Be like, son, come here. Lift your legs up a little higher. Let me hold you with a blanket over you so they think you're 2 and get on this little flight free. I'm going to need you to just sit still on there like you a newborn. Just so we can get those flights in. I just want him to experience life, but costly.
Right. Facts. And I agree with you on that. It's a beautiful thing to travel the world and see something new. I think it's also getting out of your comfort zone and really just taking that spin on life, because there's so much to see. The world is a beautiful place. God made a beautiful world, and it's so many different places. That the highest of the highest mountains and the deepest of the bluest sea. It's just so beautiful. I remember again being in Tanzania, East Africa, and that was my first time going to Tanzania, first time going to Africa. I've been hoping and praying for so many years to get to the continent of Africa, and I did it. I made it to Africa, Tanzania, and I was in Zanzibar, and the experience was mind blowing. I still remember my vacation. It was like 5 days. And it was just a beautiful experience standing in the middle of the Indian Ocean. And look, y'all, I can't even swim. Okay. I am not a swimmer. Can't swim a lick. Okay. I cannot. But myself was in the middle of the Indian Ocean.
Mermaid that day.
Girl,
I little
okay.
mermaid that day.
Period. I was giving straight Tyra Banks, Naomi Campbell vibes, 100%. But I was doing things that I would never do back in the States. You know what I mean? I was getting out of my comfort zone. I was feeding turtles, in the water, and it was just such a vibe. But this is the beauty of traveling. It sometimes challenges you to do things that you don't do in your natural home habitat.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Or home state or home city.
Yeah, I'm not feeding no Bay Area turtle. That's for sure.
Facts. Exactly. And so I think with that, it was just a beautiful experience. And then to learn about the culture, to be on African soil. I went into a slave dungeon and I touched an actual slave chain. I didn't have to do it, but I wanted to do it. I went into a women's dungeon where it was 75 total, so women and children. And to even be in that space, to know that that was part of history that's not talked about, was beautiful and also very emotional. And then also we went to Stonestown and just seeing the Muslim culture. And it was just, I learned so much. And that is what traveling is about. Whether you go state to state or you go country to country, you learn, you travel, you explore. And I think it opens your mind up to get rid of biases that sometimes we put on when we don't know another culture. We don't know. We think, oh, well, this is what they do in this country. It's like, well, actually, they don't. They do this. And I learned from the locals. And I think that is what we have to do. And also, being a teacher, it's so great to travel because I can bring my travels into the classroom with my students and to encourage them as the young,
bring that travel culture.
Exactly, as the young generation to explore. Your teacher is not just the teacher that teaches math, science, English, and language. She also teaches, to see the world, travel. She travels during her summer and winter break. So things like that, I think it's encouraging for as educators and also me as a teacher and just as a woman in general to bring that to the classroom. And so I'm all here for millennial traveling. I wanted to actually move to London and live over there for a bit. And I even was going to, before COVID hit, y'all, I was actually going to move to Shenzhen, China, which is South China, I believe. And I was going to move. I had got accepted to actually teach English over there. And I had everything set and ready to go. COVID hit in 2019 and I found out it was coming from China. I was like, well, we gonna pause on that. And so I did not go and I stayed in the States. And then that's when London was the next spot for me. And I'm always in London. I love London. Shout out to the UK because I'm always a London person. London is just a vibe. But I was gonna move to London. I was looking at places out there, but I didn't do it. So for me, my mindset is always to travel, have property in other parts of the world, and just see what God created that is so beautiful and learn and grow and just expand your travels. That's just my perspective. You know what I mean? I don't know what your take on it is, Ash, but that's just what I see when it comes to traveling. It's so fun. It's so fun. Minus the packing and unpacking. But other than that,
Most definitely
it's
is.
great.
Yes,
Yeah.
outside of traveling a lot, you learn how to, like, I pick a theme for my clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to be
Mm-hmm.
sheer? Is it going to be velvet? Is it going to be cotton and comfortable? And then I'll buy all my outfits in that theme. So that way
Mm-hmm.
I have, and it's also based off the climate of where I'm going. So I'm not out there dying in a cotton sweater in 100% humidity somewhere. So I
Right.
definitely take in consideration also just the climate of where I'm going. And a lot of times you won't really experience it until you get there. Like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not built for this weather. what I packed is not built for this weather. But now it's a learning lesson. And for me personally, my first place where I wanted to do a dual citizenship actually was London. I didn't have a specific place in London I wanted to go. I just knew I wanted to land there, live there for like 2 years, get that experience, come back, pick another place. I've also been interested in like Japan because of their culture is very beautiful out there. It's very technically advanced. I just like the look of it, the aesthetic of it, and I'm like, yeah, I just want to be somewhere else and try something new and be immersed in something new and be the foreigner for into a place for once, um, and not be a local going, oh, hey, where are you from? I want people to be like, hey, where are you from? Like
Mhm.
America.
Mhm.
That's I'm American.
Right,
And like
right.
not even to just brag that I'm American, but just to be somewhere where it's not my home territory and I get to experience all of this fresh for the first time, which is hard to get when we're a home side. Even going to other states, it's a bit of a like, oh, okay, this is beautiful, but you still have that sense of I'm still in America, so it's easier to adjust to another state versus another country. And I like that idea of just being new to something. I like experiencing new things. And definitely, even with having a 2 year old, I'm like, if I get the opportunity to move somewhere and he is cooperating with me, because my
Right.
son is the boss, I would love to just even experience staying in different countries just to give it a try so I could be like, it's a bucket list thing for me. It's nothing to impress anybody. Then that's what I love about the millennial generation. We don't do it to impress each other. Generations before us to say, hey, all your hard work
Mhm.
paid off for this. The generations after us, we're not saying, hey, look what we're doing. Try something like this. We're doing it literally for self satisfaction. We're just out there grabbing life by the rings and just enjoying it. And I love that about our generation. We're just like, okay, up and go. Pack a bag. I
Right.
have learned how to reasonably pack a carry on. And thanks to my son, he can bring a carry on and a diaper bag. So now there's three carry ons on the low.
Mhm.
And traveling a lot, I've actually been given tips by like gate agents um, and like rap agents and people who work at the airport on like tips of making travel easy
Mhm.
for myself personally. And I believe even other people can try it that don't have kids. But if they have those travel bags for like car seats and strollers that are obviously airport approved, and they were like, if you have extra stuff inside of your carry on and you get to the gate and it's looking a little bulky and they might not let you take it physically into the plane where they might want to check your bag, just throw things into that bag for your stroller or your car seat because it closes up and they'll just put it underneath the airplane for you without you having to give them your carry on. I'm like, say less. Now I'm going to stuff this
Right.
to the max. Y'all just started
Right.
something.
Fact.
Have no idea what you just did. You told the wrong one about this is like a
Facts.
coupon. I love discounts, coupons, because that's another millennial thing. We love a discount, and you just gave me a hookup. I love being plugged, and they just plugged me with that information. Like, okay, I could overpack it. It counts as you let it slide through TSA because that gate agent gonna be like, that's a little heavy there. Your bag looking like you're smuggling. Start throwing stuff inside of this travel bag and zip it up. Now they
You
got me a
smuggling
free
something.
I'm
Smuggling
smuggling
diapers.
something. And- which is a funny story. The last time I took my son somewhere, I had a can of powdered milk for him, and the can was just too much space for his
Mhm.
carry on. I
Mhm.
put it inside of a large 1 gallon Ziploc bag and double bagged it so it wouldn't open and like because of the air pressure and leak his milk everywhere. It's powder, but I didn't want it to like spread the
Mhm.
powder all through the bag and then I have to shake
Mhm.
everything off, but he can't drink it. And they
Right.
poked a hole in there. They poked a hole in the bag because they thought it was a bag of obviously
Uh-huh.
cocaine, probably, or I don't know, meth. I'm like, for one, that is a huge bag. Where am I getting that much cocaine at in my life?
Right.
I mean, I
Who's
don't
your
know
dealer?
nobody. Right? Who's the plug? Am I the plug?
Right.
They didn't even say anything. They politely pulled my carry on to the side as I was going through the little thank God for family thing. I got to go just through the metal detector with my son. I didn't have to do x-ray. And
Right.
they were over there stabbing holes into his milk, testing it for drugs. And when they noticed it wasn't drugs, they just closed it back up without my knowledge. I had no idea until we got to our destination, and I opened the bag to get his milk out and pull the bag up, and powder started coming out. I'm like, well, where did this open at? Did I not zip it properly? And then no, I seen this puncture wound inside of the bag. It was
Mm,
like they stabbed it thinking it was cocaine. When it slid through, it
mm.
saw a giant bag of
Ah,
powder. I did not dawn on me because I don't smuggle. So I'm
right.
not thinking this is going to look bad.
Right, 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 right,
But those
right.
are key tips for traveling too. Like, be prepared for anything and
Mhm,
everything.
mhm.
And less is definitely more. You
Right,
can buy the travel size versions of things where you get to your destination to save space for the important things in your luggage. If you're only going to be there for a short period of time, you don't have to pack your own body wash and stuff. They probably sell it where you're going, especially at the airport. They're probably going to have what you use there more than in the stores, simply because they know it's multiple countries and places coming to an international airport. So you're probably going to find something similar to what you like and just go from there. Yeah, it's going to be a little pricier, but
mhm.
you save that space and it's a lot cheaper than checking a bag.
That's facts,
Those are
that's facts,
key
and you know
tips.
what? That's interesting you mentioned that because 'cause I've actually never bought, like, body wash or soaps and stuff at the airport because I always pack it and then I check it because I never bring, like, my lotions and all that on the plane because I did that one time some years ago, and they threw shea butter and all my nice stuff away. Out girl, okay? I was like,
Yeah,
"Wait a
because
minute."
of the size. It can be
Yeah.
over a certain
And
amount.
I wasn't thinking I was trying to hurry up and pack. And so it was brand new. And that happened one time. And I was like, that's one time too many. So I now, when I do bring my lotions and all that fun stuff, I just literally put it in my check suitcase because I know that I'm solid. And then on my carry on is just like hand sanitizer stuff that I know it can go through TSA. But I never actually have purchased any lotions or bath soaps and anything at the airport because as we know, the airport is mad expensive for everything. Food is like $50 just for like a hamburger. It's insanity. So I never thought about that, but that is, a way to save time and space. Or as well as you just get it at that in that country, wherever you go to, just like, you know what, this first stop before we get super settled, let me go to the nearest whatever, let me get what I need to get and whatever else. So that is a smart way to do it. I've never done it, but Ash, that's a good tip for sure because you don't want to have incidents like I had where you throw all your good stuff that's brand new, you're excited about, smells delicious, and then now it's just a waste of money because it's in the garbage at the airport and you can't do nothing about it because your flight leaves in an hour. So it is what it is.
Exactly.
So I totally get that. I think another thing too is really encouraging more people to get their passports, especially, I've met some people of our age group and our generation, millennials, who don't have their passports. And, that's to me very important to have, whether you use it right away or not, just to have it, because that gives you the leeway to know that if a friend or family, or just me in general, wants to just travel the world or just do a weekend trip or a spring break trip or whatever trip, you don't have to go through the process. You already have it. I think it's very important for people to get their passports, to have the knowledge of what it takes to get their passport, how long it takes to get their passport, and just to see your stamp collection, add up. I think it's pretty cool. It's just great. I got my first passport, I think I was I was a kid. Well, I know I went to Barbados was the first time me ever going out the country. And I think I was 6.5 or 7. But I don't think I got my actual passport because I don't know if kids need a passport underage. I don't remember. But all I know is my actual passport, I was 16 and I was going to Europe for the first time. And that just was a whole experience in itself. But I definitely encourage people, especially millennials, if they haven't already, to get your passport. If you haven't, go get it. Go to what I think you UPS or FedEx, the post office. They can do it and get it done. Actually, I think even Office Depot does it. I was just there a few days ago, and some guy was getting his picture taken. Now I didn't know if that was for that, but he was getting his picture taken for something. And so, there's a lot of places to go, and it does not take a long time. I think some people think passports take like, months. I mean, it might depending on the season or the time that you're getting it, but most likely, I don't think it takes long. I'm not going to quote the exact time, but I know when I renewed my passport, it did not take long. I got mine in about a week and a half or 2 weeks. So I just encourage, young people, millennials, to travel, get your passport, and also check the country's rules and laws and regulations and, you know, dress code too. That's another important thing because a lot of us as Americans, we just go to different countries with our own mindset of how we do things. And I get it. But when you're going to different countries that are more religious conscious, like Muslim countries or Buddhist countries, you have to respect that culture by what you wear and certain and what you can and cannot do. I haven't been to Singapore, but I so want to go. After seeing the movie Crazy Rich Asians, which I love, that movie just convinced me to freaking go to Singapore,
Yes, I love that
and
movie.
I want to stay in that hotel 100%. But what I learned is that I think that country is they have a you can't litter on in that country because you can get a fine, you'll get in trouble for that, I believe. So it's just like learning certain ways of different countries. So I think that's very important to people who are considering traveling or going to travel this summer or just in general, to look up the laws and in the regulations and culture of that particular country so you can respect it, respect the customs. Don't just go over there in your American mindset like we normally do and think, all right, I'm going over here the way I do it and they're going to accept it. No, we're in their country. We have to respect their rules, whether we understand it or not, their religion, that whatever it is, we have to respect that. So I think that's very, very important because we don't want to come off one type of way. Already, a lot of countries don't like Americans anyway. So we don't want to be more of a reason to contribute to the reason why they don't like us. Respected. Like when I was in Paris, I remember going into this little boutique, and the lady, and I was speaking French, but the lady was like, she got mad at us and told me and my friend to get out. And we was like, I'm sorry, like, what are you talking about? Get out. And she was like, don't touch. And immediately, coming from America, the States, obviously, Cali, for me, you go to racism. Okay, you're telling us to get out because we black. And then we kind of got annoyed because of that. But in actuality, it wasn't that because another woman came in who was not black and she told her to get out as well and don't touch. The thing was we were Americans. She didn't like Americans. So that was interesting. Now it was
Yeah.
just her.
Being the foreigner
Yeah.
is humbling.
Oh girl, it's very humbling, because over in different countries, a lot of people have a negative perspective on Americans because of what they see in TV and the media and the news and whatnot. So they think little old Ashley from the Bay Area coming over to France or Germany or wherever I go to, that I am the representation of the entire state, the entire country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what CNN says. That's how I am. And it's like, no, that's a small portion of the country that I'm from. But I don't, I may not have those values, or I may not believe in certain things. So that is, like you said, Ash, is very humbling to when you go to different countries and how people from certain countries have a certain stigma and even a stereotype. This is not even a race thing, just an American, a nationality thing of what they feel and see of Americans. And I think it's an eye opener because, of course, we also,
Definitely is.
yeah, because we go to these countries and we also have a stigma and a stereotype of these particular countries. So we're both learning and re-educating ourselves on each culture in each country, and this is why it's good to travel. But to see how a lot of people feel about us Americans, in other countries, it's funny to me. I'm like, hey, to be 100, sis, I'd be like, I ain't mad that you feel that way. I get you. Like I've told some people from different countries, like I understand why you feel some
Even
type of
some of
way.
our own interactions with our
Yep,
own
exactly.
local citizens were like,
Mm-hmm.
this is why we have those stereotypes.
Exactly. So it's very humbling and it's eye opening. But again, I just say definitely for those who are trying to travel, planning on traveling, definitely do your research for the country, the rules and the laws, the culture, what you wear, all these things, so you don't get arrested or in trouble in these countries, and you can't get out of it because you didn't do your research. And then also check to see what countries require a visa, and how long, and things like that. Because going to Tanzania, I got a visa and it was very inexpensive, and now they email you your visa. So for those who don't know, most countries, they will digitally email you your visa, and you just print it out and make sure you have it before you travel. So, and I still have my Tanzania visa, which is really cool. I think some last for like 3 months. It just depends on what you get. But normally when I go, I'm only there for a vacation, and I don't come back until like the next year, or not at all. It just depends. But again, just do your research, y'all, and respect the culture, respect the people, and learn. And I would say leave your American biases and stereotypes at the airport. Do not bring that on the plane with you, and learn, open your mind, explore, embrace it, and hopefully it makes you a better person once you come back home. That's what I would say, you know?
Most definitely. And for those who are wondering, a passport, it's not a super expensive purchase, because you got to remember this is literally not just a key to the city, it's a key to the world. And the average price, just based off of research, because I do have a passport, is,
Hmm.
if you, it's no point in getting ones that are just for land and sea. It's literally the best option to go air, land, and sea. And that price averages around $130 in most states. And you definitely can obtain that. You can get your photo taken at multiple locations, from CVS, the post office, some public libraries. Um, I believe places like FedEx or Kinko's may do it as well, or UPS, USPS also, the United States Post Office. There's so many places you can take the photo. And if you're a photographer, if you have professional equipment, they also may allow those photos. Just have to do your research for your city, your state, to see if they allow it. Some places in the Bay Area do allow it, um, for you to bring your own photo in, so they can add it to your passport. It just has to be something legit. Otherwise, they'll just have you take it there, and it is a low cost fee for the photo. It's the passport book itself that you are mainly applying for. Even local government offices
Hmm.
you can go to, um, and just get the whole thing out the way and turn in your application. It might be a little quicker to do it that way, simply because most passport applications are being sent to these government offices to be reviewed for approval. So if you do it at the place that's going to approve it, it might be a little not so much expedited, but you
Hmm.
already skip the step by dropping it off to the source.
Right.
And it's convenient. It's a form of ID that can be used
Right.
anywhere. You don't have to
Right.
change it per state. You can use it even for job applications, anything you apply for that needs proof of identification. A passport can override that two form verification, where you have to show like your social and your ID for a lot of things. That passport would get you in the door for a lot of places. It's very convenient to have. And it's also good to have, because once you take the step of getting the passport, now you know the motivation is set for you to travel,
Right.
which is
Right.
which is one of the main reasons for having it. But a lot of people, millennials especially, they have the highest level of international travel. We set
Hmm.
the bar. I don't think anyone's trying to match that bar currently, and that's fine. More room on the airplane for us. So
Facts.
flight's already long enough.
For
I need the
real.
leg room, even at my average height. I believe I still need leg room. That's why I like to travel alone sometimes, because when they need a volunteer for exit row, oh yeah, I'll help the airplane. Probably not really, but yeah, so I can get 3 rows of
Said
seats to
not
myself.
really.
In my head, I'm going, I am not popping any doors.
Right.
But out loud, I'm going, I am here for the team.
Right.
Team
I'll do
us.
what I can. Right. I'll do what
Do
I
what I can
can.
do like this, right? You said unlatch and twist and pull. Okay. Like I'm
Right.
pretending like, I know all the rules just so I could get that seat and throw my legs up and have basically my own little bed on the
Hmm.
airplane, an extra room for no apparent reason that I really don't need. But I got
Right.
3 trays for no reason.
But it's beautiful. Exactly. Exactly. And exactly. And you know what? I would say this too. Every now and then y'all splurge on business class. I flew business class for the first time ever in my adult life, going to Dubai and flying into Tanzania. And going from LA to Dubai was a 15-hour, 50-minute flight. That was the longest flight I had ever been on in my life. Every time I go to London, it's a 10-hour flight nonstop. Cool. So this time I was like, okay, we're going to Dubai. And I saw it was a 15-hour, 50-minute flight. I was like, Lord have mercy. And then on top of that, you land in Dubai and then you're going from Dubai to Tanzania. That was another 5-hour flight. So I flew business class, my cousin and I, the entire time on Emirates Airline. And let me tell you, it was luxurious. I felt like the queen that I was. It was spacious. I have never slept so good on an airplane in my entire life. The seats went back. They had a mattress, blankets, pillows. Look, I felt like I was at home. I woke up and I was like, oh, I'm in the skies. Oh my goodness. And I say this because it's nothing wrong every now and then if you can to travel business class, because it's I know the prices could be more expensive, but I do now business class only for international trips. If I'm going domestic, then I'm just going to do regular coach. But if I'm going from here to London or here to Dominican Republic, here to, Chile or Colombia, I'm booking business class. I'm sorry. Stack your coins and pay for business class because it's really worth it. And if you want to do first class, by all means do that. I haven't done it yet, but business class is a way to go, especially on very, very, very long flights. Like, I mean, if you're going over 10 hours, if you're just doing 10
You're gonna
hours,
need some
you
comfort.
need comfort. You need comfort. So I would definitely highly recommend business class for international travel if you can afford it. And another thing is put money aside. If you're planning trips for, say, next December or next summer or whatever, any trip next year, start planning now for next year, because I'm the type of a person that I let my friends know. Ash, you already know what's up. I let people know ahead of time. I'm like, look, this is what I'm thinking about doing. Y'all want to do this? Let's do this. This is the time frame. Let's put money aside and let's make it happen. And you make it and you do that. And I'm also the type of friend and person to be like, look, I will go solo, which I've traveled a couple times by myself to another country. And I know as a woman that can be scary. So I understand women who have wanted to do it, but they can't do it because it's like kind of scary to be in a whole other country by yourself. But this is when, of course, I always stay prayed up and God has always blessed me and protected me on my international travels. But I also feel traveling by yourself, it pushes you to be stronger and more in your faith and be more aware of what's going on when you're by yourself, because you're by yourself in a whole nother country, not another city where you may know some people, but a whole other country, miles and miles and hours away from your family. So I think when you're in those spaces, still be aware. Still, don't be just so in the fields of happiness where you don't pay attention to nothing. But it sharpens your awareness, but it also, I think, it develops you and makes you stronger and learn more about yourself as a woman and as just a person, even men who travel by themselves internationally as well. So I would just say for ladies, always be aware, always have something, to protect yourself, but also enjoy it. Enjoy it. I never stayed out really late when I was in the countries I was in. I was in London and all that. I have friends out there, but I still was not trying to be coming in 2, 3 in the morning by myself, going into my hotel. Like I was always aware of like, let me shut it down. All right, y'all, it's been real. I'll see y'all tomorrow for, the next adventure that we go on. That's just me. So just always be safe, wherever you go. Make sure also you have the right what is it, the right equipment to plug in your computers and all that, because just so y'all know, for those who have not traveled before And for those who do travel out of the country, you know this, but when you travel, there are different plugins for different countries. So we're not going to be used to the American plugins throughout the state. All 50 states pretty much have the same, USB plug-in and just same plug-in cords or whatever. But when you're in different countries, their outlets are different. So you have to do your research and make sure you have the right outlet plugins for your hotel rooms, your Airbnbs, families' homes that you may stay in, wherever you're staying in whatever country. Do your research to make sure you have the right equipment, because you don't want to get to a country, you're all excited, and you can't plug up your laptop because you got the wrong outlet, or you thought you had the right one, but you don't. I had that happen to me one time in London, and I was so like, oh my gosh, my laptop is dead. This sucks. But fortunately, I was right by the mall. So I just went to the mall, got me the right plug-in. I was back, back to square one of everything working. So I would just say keep that in mind, because it's very important. And again, this goes back to doing research on whatever country you go to. Don't just think about, oh, the vacation pot spots and all that. That's great, but know everything else. The little details do count, so you can have a fabulous, beautiful, wonderful vacation, staycation, wherever you're going, or even if it's a business trip, just enjoy it, but also know what all comes with it, and be safe. Be safe, respect the country, respect the locals, respect the culture, and continue to learn and grow, and that's what I would say when it comes to millennial travel thus far. I know we can keep going on this, but I think we have summed it up. I think, I mean, Ash, what do you feel?
Yeah,
I most
yeah.
definitely feel so. And for anyone who is a millennial who haven't traveled or plan to travel and they haven't been able to narrow down like a destination for a start, honestly, I would say try Europe first.
X.
It's I feel like it's the most adjustable country for a new traveler. Places like Paris, Barcelona, Rome, um, anywhere in that realm, London, of course. Just try Europe, and then from there you could branch out and be a little more foreign, like Thailand, Bali, Japan, Portugal, Brazil, if you want. And then, of course, always got to represent. Yeah, I feel everyone should visit some part of Africa. Visit one of
Please,
the many countries of Africa.
please.
They are all different, beautiful, and unique in their own ways, and the world just needs to be explored. Shoot, even try
Mhm.
Iceland. Go stay in an igloo. Um,
I wanna do
just
that. I wanna do that. I really do.
it's to see what's normal for someone else. It's so beautiful and fresh for you. Is what you are getting out of traveling. That those memories that yes, you can see them on TV, but to experience them firsthand, it just does something to the spirit. It's so freeing, and it definitely should be explored. But any new travelers, definitely I recommend. And these are very popular areas for millennials in general, for our generation. This generation in general loves places like Europe, Japan, Thailand, really the world in general, Dubai and Africa. And it's becoming more and more okay to just pick up and go.
Mhm,
Your family will
mhm,
still be there. Your friends will still be there. That job will
mhm.
still be there. That crazy ex that won't stop calling, text you, go still be there. Don't get on that plane.
Right, right,
They're going to be
exactly.
there. Those problems are going to be there. Go ahead, wash it away with a little bit of travel. And definitely,
Mhm.
it's okay to splurge. You do not want to be. That's like being in labor with no help for 20 hours on a flight in coach. You do not want them problems in life. Go ahead, and if you're, plan your trip a year out in advance and give yourself a year to save up for that trip. If you're going every
Mhm,
summer, start the summer before saving up. So when it
mhm,
comes, you have it paid off. You have that nice business class. Anyone who likes to fly United, which is obviously an international airline,
mhm,
they have a section called Polaris, which is the seats that turn into the little baby beds. And
mhm,
I like those little seats. Got your own little TV, come with your little slippers and headphones and stuff. Go ahead,
mhm,
splurge for that Polaris. I miss working for the airport because we got free flights, and for international flights, they were like $50. Um,
mhm.
you know, Somebody have fallen. I don't work for the airport no more. But
Right, right, right.
I
Yeah.
almost want to go back just for a ticket. But
I think you should, sis, so you could put me on. I'm just, I'm
definitely.
just kidding.
And for
You know?
anybody who works at those like subcontracted companies for the airport, like the people who do like ramp agents or work on the tarmac, they service in particular client like United, for example, and they're able to get benefits for when I worked for the airport, it was in Texas for the George Bush airport, and they gave us flight benefits for Delta and United. And you had the option of adding four people onto your Delta list and four people onto your United list. They did not have to be the same people. So you can have four people that you really, really like on United and four people that you kind of like on Delta. So to
Kind
be
of like
perfectly,
on Delta.
I like
I
Delta
can't.
Airlines. They've always been nice and friendly to me. Um,
Hmm.
and United is cool as well. It's just I'm more familiar with them when it comes to international versus Delta. But yes, if you're going to fly out, you're a millennial. Hey, get a little part time jobby job at an airport. Get you a free ticket and travel the world. Jobs have perks. If some of
Hmm.
these jobs allow you to have perks, hey, get a position that requires you to travel. Um,
Right.
one of the companies I used to work for was called G2 Secure. It's not a personal shout out to them, but they have what is called a Colombia team, where this team just flies to Colombia and back every day, all day, just to do
Oh,
security
wow.
checks on the airplane and make sure that there's nothing left behind that is a threat. So
Hmm.
you mean
Hmm.
my job is just to fly to Colombia and back all day? Oh, yes, but you have to meet a certain requirement.
Right.
It is hard to get on that team, but it's plausible. You may get accepted to a team like that. There's jobs out there that just pay you to travel, and if there's a
Right.
long, or like you're just hanging out, they got food vouchers for you and stuff. So you mean I'm getting paid? I'm being flew out for
Right.
free.
Right.
You're paying me to be on here like I'm an air marshal. You feed me and everything. You must be my next baby daddy. So
I can't. I can't. Yes.
at that point, it's a lot of luxury things you can do on a budget. And there's a lot of jobs that will provide a lifestyle for you just by applying yourself. Look it up, do some research. Is nothing to quick googly moogly on how can I fly for a
Right.
lifestyle.
Right. Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
been done. Millennials
And I
set
would
that bar.
say exactly. And to add to that also, don't limit yourself when it comes to travel.
Yes,
And most importantly, and I say this so hard because we give so much love to vacation spots in Europe and all that. And there's nothing wrong with those countries. It's all beautiful. But do not, and I mean this with everything, do not sleep on the entire continent of Africa. It is beautiful. I've only been to two countries in Africa. I was in Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya, and I was at the airport, but still that counts. In my opinion, it
it
still
counts.
counts. Thank you. Okay, I was there, so that was also beautiful. I didn't get to explore Kenya like I want to, but I plan on going back. But I just say this because so many times society always focuses on the more European type of countries of vacation in tropical countries, Caribbean countries, and all that, which is fine. But and they focus on every country in Africa as there's poor and everyone's struggling. And yeah, that may be some of the case, and I say that very loosely, but majority of that country of these countries are rich and everyone in there is thriving and they're just so amazing and there's so many beautiful places to see. The
Absolutely.
culture is beautiful. So please do not sleep on Africa. There's 54 countries in Africa. I plan on going to all 54 one of these days. I've gone to two. I'm trying to get to Ghana. I'm trying to get to Mozambique. I'm trying to get to Egypt, Morocco. I'm not playing. Okay. I'm hitting these countries. Okay. So Zambia, like all these countries in Africa, don't sleep on them. Johannesburg, South Africa, I'm trying to get there too. So the point is travel the world, see the world, stay safe, open your mind, but also embrace Africa too. Okay.
Right.
I got that DNA in my, that DNA is in me, West African DNA, Nigerian and Ghanaian. So I'm gonna go hard for that. Okay. So embrace those countries. But that's what I would say. And I think we should wrap it up with that. Just embrace, travel, live your best life, see the world, be safe, and open your mind to endless possibilities of what's out there to see.
Absolutely. And I would say lastly, just do your research,
Mm-hmm.
learn the area you're going to, make sure you're informed of the rules, the laws, because just because you're not aware of them or ignorant to their laws, and you're like, oh well, hey, I'm not from here, it's not a good excuse. It won't
Facts.
keep you out of jail.
Right.
So just be aware of your surroundings and the place you're going. Um, that goes for your dress code, to your
Mhm.
mannerisms sometimes, because some of our American ways can get us into a lot of trouble in other places.
Mhm.
Most
Mhm.
definitely in other countries. Respect their land, respect their rules, and they'll let you leave in one piece with all your stuff. Hopefully. So, and especially if you're a woman who travels alone, make sure you have everything from A to Z, 1 through 10, navigate it, point it down, and share your information with someone that you trust of where you're going to be at, hotel,
Mhm.
your information. If anything happens, they get a hold of you. One thing I do think is a big thing, which Apple did, was create those Apple AirTags. Get you some of those. They can be a little costly if you have a Sam's Club or a Costco membership. They're um, more reasonable price, and you get a more bulk for your variety for your purchase. I think they do like 4 for a lot cheaper than what you'll get in like a Target or Walmart store. And just do your research, especially when it comes to like plugging your devices in, and if your self service is acceptable in these countries where you get there and you can't even tell someone I landed because you didn't go through the right steps of making sure you have service somewhere.
Mhm.
Let your banks know where you're going so they are not
Mhm.
declining you left and right, and you looking like a poor,
Right.
crazy American instead of
Right.
a crazy rich Asian. So you don't want to get somewhere and they just like, brokey.
Mhm. Mhm. Facts.
Whole
Right.
time the bank was like, foreign place, this ain't them. Who's
Right.
this? Just
Right.
it's a lot of steps to traveling. That's why I
Mhm.
say it's best to give yourself at least a year before you take a big international trip. Even if it's for just a weekend or a couple of days, do your research where you're going. I think traveling with travel agencies or groups who pretty much do all this footwork for you and tell you what to bring, when to bring it, is a lot more reasonable. It takes the stress out of it because you might think, is that all the steps? Did I miss a step? Should I even go? I don't even know if I'm ready. Am I ready?
Mhm.
Get there. I
Mhm.
don't, you just don't even have nothing planned for yourself properly. Just do your research. It's not that hard. People are on the internet 1,000 times a day. Do your research, and yeah, hopefully we see more and more millennial travel, and hopefully we're able to, which we will be sharing some of our travel stories in the future as we go on future travel trips and stuff, and just exploring the world and touching bases on that, and hope to see a lot more millennials and other generations out there. And just hey, purchase that ticket, get on that flight, go live life.
Period. And that's that. So thank y'all so much for listening. We appreciate your time, and, stay safe out there, and we will see you on the next episode.
That wraps up another episode of Don't Trip Sis. Thanks for listening. Until next time, remember, the most important thing in life is to enjoy life. So smile and don't trip, sis.